Where did you grow up?
So I'm originally from France, a little town who's called Châteauroux. It's about 2 hours south of Paris. I was born there. Nobody really knew golf. Golf was not a big thing at all. Small town on the countryside. And one day, there was a new golf course in construction. And they did an open house. At that time, I was about 9 years old. And I tried tennis, I tried dance, I tried all the sports. And I didn't really found something I was really in passion with. Mm-hmm. And my parents said, well, why not? Let's go and try golf. We went and I tried to hit few balls on the range. And the funniest thing is, at that time over there, the teacher was an old American guy. No speak French at all.
Really?
Yeah, and I had no clue in English, of course. I was 9 and I was like, I had no idea what he was talking to me. And it was like just sign language. And he told my parents, wow, yeah, good.
Really?
Yeah, you should push her. So I was like, well, you know what? It's fun. It's like 10 minutes from the house. I can go on Wednesday, on the weekend. And so my parents said, well, you know what? Why not just roll you into the golf school over there every Wednesday? And it started like that. And sometimes it's like in life, I really believe like it's meant to be, or
right.
Fun part as my first teacher who told my parents I should continue and I have kind of sort of a talent. It was an American person, and now my life is in America, so in the US. So this is kind of funny.
Did you talk to that man?
Oh, he probably passed away.
Sure.
It was like. I'm 46 now, so it was like 36 years ago, 35 years ago, and he was already like probably 75 years old.
Okay.
So I remember his name. His name was John Cantor, but I wish I can have like more information where we were. His family. But it was funny because he was teaching everybody in English, and everybody was like, but with sign language you can exchange with someone.
Yeah.
You can, especially in sport, you can
right.
pick it up.
They can show you.
Yeah.
So you really enjoyed it right away, and it was a positive experience those first few years.
Yeah, I enjoyed it because I love to be outside. My parents live like not in a farm, but like not in a city. So I grew up like always being outside. Any sport I tried inside was not fitting me at all. Dance, my mom put me at dance when I was like 2.5, and like by 9 years old I said, well, you know what, ballet is not for me. In golf it's totally different. Every golf course are different. That's what I loved immediately into that. So I don't say it's easy all the time, because in France it's like we really have the 4 seasons, and
okay.
I remember winters was really hard, but as a kid I really loved golf right away. And even when it was snowing, I was asking my dad, oh, can we go to golf please, because I want to hit balls. So I remember being on the practice range and hitting some golf ball into the snow.
What was school for you like then? If you loved the outdoors and you knew that at a young age, did you dread having to go to school, or?
When I graduated high school in France, the equivalent of high school here in France, I had the opportunity to go to UCLA, because then what I was doing like national tournament in amateur, some coaches go to those tournaments and recruit some young players. So they asked my parents, well, we really want her to go to UCLA. I was 18, not speaking English very well, only child. My parents say, well, I'm not leaving my kid like 15,000 miles away.
Long way.
You can dream about it, but on the other, when you're a parent, you're like,
it's scary.
Kind of scary. So I denied it. So I did just a degree in France, because my parents said, well, okay, great, you want to turn professional, but have a backup in case anything happen or you don't succeed, or it's not guaranteed you're gonna have like a career of that. So I did like equivalent of a master, like a general, just to make sure like after 2 or 3 years on tour, if I don't like it, I can go back to
pay your bills,
study and study like something like more specific.
Okay.
When I was 19 and 20, so for 2 years I did that in France. I turned pro when I was 21 on European Tour.
Okay. I want to talk about parents. Did you grow up with both of your parents? Yep. Okay. What did they do? Did they work? Did both parents work?
So my dad worked into like a cigarette facility because in Europe a lot of people smoke cigarettes.
Yeah.
So he worked there. My mom didn't work.
Okay. How old was your mom when she had you about?
She was pretty, now it's getting like in the norm, but she was in her 40s.
Really?
Yeah, so I have like older parents. Luckily, I still have them. But at that time, when you realize 46 years ago, it was like...
that was unheard of.
Yeah, no. Now, it's casual.
Right.
People have kids like later.
Did they have a hard time getting pregnant or?
Yeah, I think, they had a hard time, like miscarriages,
right.
And then finally I arrived. So I
and
was
then
like
you
the last hope, you know?
Yeah. So the only child, and
Yeah.
after all of that, were you pretty spoiled, or were they just...
Of course, I'm a girl, only child. Yes, spoiled in a way where my parents always supported me.
Right.
To drive me here, of course, when you go, you commit to a sport at a high level. Of course, you need to drive everywhere, you have tournament every weekend, so they sacrifice their time with their friends to drive me everywhere to play those tournaments, because golf takes a lot of time. The tournament are sometimes not only one day, but it's like 3 or 4 days, so it takes a long time to do about all your weekend, you know. So I was spoiled that way, to have like supportive parents. I was the only one, so but yes,
really helped you, but they were strong on values and discipline.
Yeah, they've always been strong or of education, school, don't forget school.
Yeah.
I remember when I was probably 14 or 15 years old, I told them, well, I want to turn pro. They were like, okay, turn professional on golf. Going back like 30 years ago, being from France, here it's a little bit different, because golf, it's like a big sport. But when it's a sport like so small, and you tell your parents at 15 years old or 14, I want to turn pro, they're like kind of scared, and I would be the same with my kids now. So they said, okay, if that's what you want to do, fine, but don't forget school, don't forget to study.
Did your mom work before she had you?
Yeah, she worked before. She was an assistant in different jobs.
Did she go to college at all, or education?
No, not really. If I go back when they were like 20 years old, college was not really a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially in Europe, it was really like in the big cities, like Paris or... now you have pretty much college in every city. 60 years ago now. College was completely different.
Do you remember any dreams that your mom had on, would have liked to have this job, or have done anything differently, or had different opportunities, or was she very content with her life and didn't really talk about it?
No, I think she was happy with what she got. They always told me, well, as long as you're healthy, and you're on your feet, and you have a roof, and you have food on the table, we're fine.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it's true. Did she had any dreams? Maybe. She never really told me, but I think
you were probably her dream.
As a child,
after everything they went through,
and then saw me like succeeding on the tour. They were really proud. So then I think our dream were complete.
You had a unique situation being an only child and everything that your parents experienced leading up to that. But do you remember anything different between boys and girls? Any way that your parents treated you differently, saying, oh, you're a girl, you need to do things this way?
Well, personally, I didn't really care about it. The young difference between men and women. I remember my mom told me, and I was really young, And I remember that. She told me, never count on a man to support you. You know, be independent, have your own money, never wait to be married to someone and stay home. And maybe that was her mistake, I don't know. But she always told me, in your life, try to be independent. And I think it's true. I mean, if you have the possibility to combine a family and a job, you don't have to justify everything, and you can spend your money the way you want, you can save your money the way you want, you know. And I think nowadays it's very important to be independent.
To have the opportunity to be independent.
Yes.
Because
and especially now that there's so much possibility. You can work from home. You can, I mean, there's flexibility. And back in the days, there was not so much. Yeah. I mean, having a job, you had to go to any places and work like 8 hours a day, you know?
So did you have any other interests growing up than golf? Because 8 years old, I mean, pretty early, you said around 15, you were thinking, I want to go pro. Was there anything else on your mind at all growing up that, oh, it might be nice to have this career or?
No, really. I was really focused on golf. Soon as I picked up, I mean, I was like living golf, eating golf, sleeping golf 24/7. Other passion in life? Not really. I didn't have like many friends.
Okay.
Because I was like always, when I was so focused on what I was doing, you know, I missed all the birthday parties, and I missed all the like weekend or play dates, or and then my friend became from golf, so I made a lot of connection like playing golf. But guess what? My friend were my competitors. So we were playing against each other, and trust me, girls playing against girls.
Your parents wanted you to have discipline, but they weren't really pushing you hard with the golf.
The one who's pushing
them
yourself to bring me like, I was the opposite.
Okay.
I remember days it was like pouring and raining and cold, and my dad was like, I mean, I remember like days like he was like, oh, I'm hungry, or I want to go home, and I was like, no, I want to continue, like more balls and more. So I was the one who was pushing them, not them pushing me.
And where did you get that drive, do you think?
Probably it's my mentality. I know when I want something, I get it. Okay. No matter how much effort it's going to take me, or if I want something, I'm going to achieve it. And from the young age. So probably it's just like I'm built like that. I don't remember my parents be that way. My dad was a professional athlete, and he told me that he focused on competing against himself, and that was it. He never thought about where he was ranked compared to other people. Yeah. He was just focused on how he needed to improve. Yeah, and how you can get better. Yes. Yeah, I think this is one of the secrets to succeed. Don't comparing yourself to others. Because soon as you do that, you're losing all what you are, you know, because you want to become like like her, like, and as an athlete, not just especially golf, but in many sports, like you're losing the actual time in the present and working on you, you know. It's not because, I mean, this other girl, she needs to run like 5 miles before to do like a run of golf. That's what she needs to do. That's what she needs to do. I mean, it's not because one needs to eat carbs the day before, you need to eat carbs. Maybe you may be gluten-free and you don't know it, you know? So really spending time learning on yourself, that's the most important thing, I think. And then I think that, from what I've noticed, also ties to the issues that you might have making friends with your competitors. The people who really compare themselves to others a lot are more likely to get jealous and have a harder time supporting you, because one year you might be on top and the next year they might be on top. Of course. Yeah. And that's the human being is made like that, you know. If I compare myself to other, probably the other do the same. Probably the other compare themselves to me, you know. And guess what happening? Jealousy, like anger, All those emotion, you don't want to be around, and we losing really like the pure intention of life.
Why are you doing it?
Yeah, why are you here?
Yeah.
For which reason? I mean, truly believe like every people are here for a reason.
Yeah.
My purpose in life, it's not the same as your purpose.
Yeah.
So, but it's bad or good, or don't judge people. It's just like every person are different, and soon as you starting understanding that, things gets like so much easier, and things make sense.
Dealing with the competition and other, your competitors and making friends, do you remember at certain ages where it was really difficult? Was it like the teenage years, or was it always something that you kind of had to be aware of if you made a friend that golfed, that it might become an issue at some point?
Well, probably teenager.
Yeah.
I mean, 17, 16, 17, where everything's like
You're really
at one
judging
time.
yourself. And
So this kind of this time as a teenager was hard. The other part was hard when I just turned pro. So when you arrive in a new world, with obviously people are better than you, and you just tempted, yes, to compare yourselves. It's hard, and especially when you arrive as a young woman in an organization when you have older human than you. I mean, the adaptation, it's not easy to do, and especially because then when you turn pro, guess what happening on top of everything, on all of those relationships, you play for money.
Yeah.
So when you throw money on top of everything else,
Right.
that's where it's become like challenging.
When you decided, you were so young when you decided you wanted to go pro with golf and really lean into golf, but do you remember, or did your parents ever talk to you about having a family, and how are you going to do that with golf, or did you think about it at all when you were younger?
No.
Okay.
No, it was not, absolutely not in my mind, and my parents were not pushing me to have a boyfriend, or, I mean, having a boyfriend when you do a sport, it's hard.
Yeah.
Because you spend so much time on the course, you don't have much time to meet people, spending time with people, and guess what? My husband is from the same home club as I am from, and we're friends since like the young age. So that's funny too, because I knew him. He was a good golfer. Later on, we became like a closer friend. But no, they never pushed. I mean, they never worried about like, oh, they told me, oh yeah, one day you're gonna have kids. But it was much like more on like dream side, or one day.
They didn't put pressure on you.
No, they never told me, oh, by the age of 25 you need to get married, and then by the age of 28 you have to get kids. No.
Did you date a lot before you started dating your husband? Or
No,
was that,
because I had no time. No time to meet anyone.
Yeah.
So that's another topic too. I mean, when you're really into something and you deserve so much time into that passion, it can be a sport, it can be music, it can be anything, art, anything. I mean, you sacrifice other things, and all those things are time.
Do you regret that at all? Like with your children or with other girls, do you talk to them about thinking about dating more or incorporating? A lot of people will say who you marry is the most important decision you'll make in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, I don't regret anything.
Because it happens for a reason, and you were driven.
And I didn't felt like I missed something.
Yeah.
I was not into boys like before, like even like 18, 20, and even at 20, I mean, I was like, oh yeah, it's fun, but I mean, I need to practice.
You can carry my clubs, it's nice that your husband understood golf. And I'm sure, I can't imagine a woman trying to date a man that, has a normal job and you're traveling and all of that. Yeah. When you guys met, did you know or started seriously dating? that you both wanted to have children. Was that
Yeah, we were on the same page. We wanted
Yeah.
to have kids when it was
Someday, yeah.
someday. But yeah, we wanted.
Was there any discussion about maybe we won't golf as much when we decide to have children, or was it?
No, because I knew golfing and having kids was possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew it was like a possibility, and we said, well, you know what, we let mother nature happen. And there was not like, okay, decision like, let's say if I get pregnant, I have kids, I'm gonna stop golf right away? No, because we saw on tour like many other women had children, and there's a daycare, so it was possible to combine the both. That's a big thing. That the tour provide this support to women, and not having the woman to make a choice of, okay, do I want to start a family or continue my career?
From when you started, did they provide daycare?
Yeah, it's your choice to use the daycare or not. I mean, some girls have a private nanny, or
Sure.
they have a grandma who travel with them. But if you have nobody, you can use the daycare. So basically, it's like 2 nannies who are hired by the tour, who travel with us. There's a truck who's loaded with beds, books, because then kids getting older, so they start school. Toys, I mean, all the stuff like for kids, you know. And so from a tournament to another, they set up the room. Usually it's either at the golf course, at the hotel, sometimes some church like open their daycare for us. Nice. And you drop your kids in the morning and you pick them up in the afternoon, like every other working mom, you know. So you have the choice, you have the possibility to combine both. And I know on the men's tour it's exactly the same. And not because they really need it, because if the wife travels with the husband play golf, I mean, she can take care of the baby. But sometimes the wife wants to follow the husband on the course, you know? So they have the possibility to drop the kids. And also, I mean, babies, they sleep, eat, that's it. But when your kid getting older, like 2, 3, 4 years old, it's nice to be with other kids.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it gets very boring, and they have no social life, so interesting for the kids, because let's say 1 week we play in Canada, they're gonna go and visit like the maple syrup factory, and then next week we're like in every city we go, every state we go, there's something to go and see. There's a zoo, there's a museum, there's an aquarium, something.
That's incredible that they provide that.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Yeah, we have on tour there's a sponsor who sponsored the daycare, and it's been in place since like 20-25 years.
If you could change anything for women, if I could wave a magic wand and fix one thing, what would it be?
To be well, it's probably like a common answer, but be considered same as your peers, male peers, you know, and it's not because you're a woman, you're weaker, or you cannot do this or that, you know. And I don't know who came with the idea of men and women. Okay, the man is strong and the woman is weaker and needs to stay at home. And no, actually, I mean, more equality, like between men's and women's in every part of life. I mean, let's say at home, it's not always the woman who needs to vacuum the floor,
right,
you know, or change the diaper.
Why? Yeah.
Is it like really like a woman thing, and
are
not a man's
better
thing?
for diapers?
Yeah, no, well, kids needs dads.
Yeah.
Kids needs time with their dads, you know, and don't be old school, and especially in 2025 now, it's like, okay, some kids have 2 moms, some kids have 2 dads, it's the way it is, and I'm not judging, it's fine, but make sure like time is it's equal to both parts. You know, makes sense. But like seeing like more women involved into politics, into everything. I mean, it's I think it's the future, because it's not because you're a woman you need to stay at home.
I think that's
we deserve like to be treated the same.
Yeah.
Just to be treated the same.
It's shocking, and there's still obviously a lot of sexism every day, everywhere we go, pulling into a car repair shop, and just like the little things that we don't really think about every day. But to think about how it was even 50 years ago, women weren't even allowed in many
I know.
places.
Yeah, it's getting better. I mean, we're on the good slope,
Yes.
you know, but
We have a lot more to go.
a lot. Yeah.
If you're talking to a younger girl who's thinking about going pro or doing any professional sport, any advice you?
Now, like I'm retired from golf, you know, I would say think about the future. Always have, not especially like a plan B, you know, but let's say for my example, I was playing golf for 15 years. I met a lot of people. Probably the big mistake I did is not keeping those people, those contacts, you know, because I would love to reach out to those people for many reasons.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where I can find them. I mean, I don't even remember their names.
Yeah.
You know?
You were so focused.
Yeah, so focused because I thought at that time when I was 25 years old, oh, I'm going to play golf for the rest of my life, blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, you're not pro for like 80 years.
Yeah.
You know, so things stop at a point.
Yeah.
I stopped my career when I was 40 years old. Now I'm doing something else. I wish I could have take more resources when I was in that position,
right,
to bring into now, you know?
Right.
And I think all those young players, they're so focused and they just do their sport, sleep, eat, train, repeat. They forget what's next.
Yeah.
They forget sometimes, maybe try to meet someone and maybe start a family. Because guess what? When you're going to get to at a certain age, it's too late.
Yeah.
And you can't really go back.
Yeah.
And think about what's your future, how it's going to be, you know? Or are you covered for your retirement? That's things after you played like for X amount of years on tour. Do you want to stay home, like enjoy, travel, and keep the same lifestyle? Or do you want to go back and work for something you really don't enjoy?
Right.
Those questions is always be ahead, you know, always having like a vision of what's my next 10 years going to look like. Yeah. Because you can influence your next 10 years now. I know you hear everywhere like be in the present, don't think about the future, but actually your future is made now.
Yeah. The decisions you make now.
The decision you make now gonna influence your future,
your opportunities.
Yes.
tomorrow.
So always have a vision, like where you want to go, where your path's gonna be, and try to help that decision. You know
what you're working on now, or what's next for you.
Yeah, I'm excited to now be totally recycled into a different industry, like real estate. I always love like looking for houses and shop for houses and so that's something I like to do. With my golf background, helps a lot because clients love playing golf with me. You meet a lot of people too. Yeah. It's exciting. It's a totally different world, what I'm learn every day. Yeah. And different people, I mean, wonderful people. It's a great company, so pleased to.
And you're in a good spot in Scottsdale, and everyone loves and respects golf here.
Oh yeah, it's a big golf community here.
Well, I'm excited for you and your new
Thank you.
adventures.
Yeah.